What is up, everybody? Sandwich here, and welcome to my walkthrough for Thymesia. This game's great. If you are a Souls or Souls-like fan, you should have no problem. If you are not, on the other hand, you may struggle a little bit, but hopefully with this guide, it'll be easy enough to get through the game and get you to the credit screen. So to start off, let's go with a new game. I'm doing my Let's Play and the walkthrough at the same time, but my Let's Play is quite a bit further. As always, for the sake of a walkthrough, we are going to skip cutscenes and all of that. Those are the basic controls. So real quick, way you move is left stick. You've got... Oh, I have to do this tutorial actually. Okay. A is how you pick up stuff. B is how you get out of it. Okay. Start is how you pause. Saber attacks and wounds. So, the right bumper is how you attack with your saber, which is your sword. B is how you dodge. You're going to be using both of them a lot. The thing is, when you attack somebody with your saber, if you look at the video there, their white health bar depletes, and then you get a green health bar behind it. The green health bar is their wounds. So, you attack somebody with your saber, you take away their health, but then you also have to take away their wounds. We'll get into that a little later. When an enemy's health and wounds are both 0, they will become dead. A dazed enemy, use RB to execute them. So you'll get an execution prompt. It'll be a red circle, and that's when you will go in for the kill. So again, B is dodge. So if you just want to practice on this guy, that's fine. If he swings, you dodge. Whoops. So see how their health bar, he should be dead by all rights, but he's still got the green health bar, so you need to... And there's the prompt. So just hit RB again and you will execute them. Now once we get a claw, I'll go into that. That's how you do other executions. But for now, we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. You can sprint through stuff or attack it, it doesn't really matter. LB just before any enemy attacks to deflect it. So if you played Sekiro, you should be familiar with the deflect system. It's not as crisp as Sekiro is, but there's skills and talents that you can put into your character to make your deflect window more viable for you. So if you're having problems parrying or deflecting, you can opt to put your skill points into a certain place that will make your parry window longer. So if he swings and you do that too early, you'll still get the deflect. Likewise, if he swings and you do it too late, you'll still get it. So just a little bit of information there. You can practice on this guy as well. It's pretty Oh, come on, you bitch. Like that. Personally, I thought I had thought that the deflect system by itself is a little wonky, so... And also, for the sake of the walkthrough, I will be putting points into the deflect system as well. Kinda as, like, new players may not be as skilled at deflecting as others, so we will focus on that. Face an enemy and use right stick press in to lock on. Locked on enemies will stay in the center of Corvus' sight. And when you're locked on, you can move the right stick to change target. So right stick is how you auto lock on, and you can right stick around to move. Okay. And likewise, if you push in the right thumbstick, you run. Press right trigger to perform a claw attack. The claw attack deals a lot of damage to enemy wounds and prevents them from healing. So, really quick, we've already talked about wounds and saber attacks. So if you look at the video on the right, he has that green health bar. When you do a claw attack, you permanently delete his ability to heal his own wounds. So if you attack somebody and they have a full green health bar and you just stop attacking them, over time they will heal that health back. But if you use your right trigger to do a claw attack, they will be unable to ever get that health back. So it's very important to get used to doing that. So for example, you've got him like that. We're gonna do a claw attack to permanently disable his healing. Oh shit, I'm locked. Oh god. And also if you press up on the directional pad, that is how you heal. Each enemy has a unique plague weapon, and Corvus can reave this for his own use. Hold right trigger to fully charge Corvus's claw and release a reave to reave a plague weapon. Reave deals even more damage to enemy wounds and prevents them from healing. Corvus is vulnerable while charging his claw, so it is safer to perform on dazed enemies. So basically, once you get somebody completely depleted of their health, if you hold right trigger, you are able to get a one-time use of the weapon that they were using. So basically, you turn that into a, quote, plague weapon for a single use on your next enemy. So we're going to hold the right trigger until it fully charges. And there we go. So if you look down in the bottom right corner, we now have an axe icon surrounded by green. That is a plague weapon. Now it's only a single use, but we'll get more into that later, because you can obviously get permanent ones, but this is the tutorial. And once you have a plague weapon, like I said, it's a single use, so you press Y and it does a bunch of damage. And you can do that as many times as you want. Personally, for me, until I got my own permanent plague weapons, I was doing this on pretty much everybody. Especially, you know, it's a good idea to try out new weapons. So if you see an enemy with a weapon you've never played with before, I would recommend reaving that weapon and then using it to see if you like it enough to, you know, put points into it later on. Damn, came out of nowhere. And also, just a little trick. So you might be like, wow, you're doing your claw attacks really fast. So what I do is I'll attack a couple of times, and then once I feel like the enemy's health, his white health bar is all the way gone, I'll strictly focus on my claw attacks. And if you sort of mash right trigger, like not hold and mash, but just tap, tap. Well, it only works, I guess, on an enemy, but if you have an enemy in your sights and you continuously tap right trigger, he will do a maximum of 2 swipes, and usually that's enough to deplete their green health bar and then get an execution on them as well, if you don't need their plague weapon. If you need their plague weapon, do 1, stun them, and then reave them with the right trigger hold. Alright, moving on in. These right here are beacons. Resting at a beacon will save current progress, refill potions, and restore health and energy. Resting at a beacon will also resurrect most enemies. So again, if you're familiar with Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, whatever, you have bonfires, you have sites of grace, you have light posts, whatever. This is your checkpoint. So as it says, all enemies will respawn. So if you rest, be prepared if you have to backtrack to fight those enemies again. But you'll refill your potions, and you can also level up, put your skill points in, level up plague weapons. There's all kinds of stuff. We'll get into it as we go along, but for right now we can't do any of that. But as you can see on the left hand side, you can level up, you can unlock talent, which is your skill tree. You can equip and upgrade plague weapons. You can equip and upgrade potions, forgotten feathers, cease recall, resume game. Alright, we got a mini boss here. When a green light appears before an enemy attack, they will perform a critical attack that cannot be deflected. Instead, Corvus must move out of range or use a feather attack. Use left trigger to throw a feather and interrupt the enemy attack just before the enemy's critical attack hits. You will regenerate thrown feathers over time. Feathers will also leave wounds on the enemy and stop them from healing for a while. So if you look at the video, you'll notice it's a critical attack by the sound prompt and then the green light that shoots into you. So as soon as you see that, left trigger and it will stun them. Something I've noticed, at least upon launch, is sometimes it's a little wonky. Sometimes you'll throw it at the right time and it doesn't really work. So if that's the case, just be prepared to dodge out of the way, because it doesn't always go through. So again, we're gonna claw to get the health gone. Oops. There it was there. We missed it. Early on, it's a little slow combat-wise because you don't really have the skills needed. Boom, there you go. Oh, we missed that one. Now with mini bosses and everything, I recommend holding right trigger and getting whatever weapon that they have, because it's 9 times out of 10 it's a weapon you haven't used before, at least early on. So be sure to do that. And as you've seen, we got a new plague weapon down in the bottom right, which is the great sword, I believe, and the key to the cemetery. So I recommend going back, resting, because mini bosses and main bosses do not respawn once you kill them. They are the only enemies that do not. And if you're worried about the combat right now being janky, or you're getting your ass beat, don't worry, because quite soon, actually, you're able to start dumping points into certain skills. So you can dump points into your dodge, into your claw, into your saber, into your feather, into everything. You basically, the skills aren't for stats, the skills are for your combat style, if that makes any sense. And like I said, I'll get into that when we get to it, so. Okay, from here, we are going to want to go over here first. No, I thought there was something over there. We will go down. There's going to be a few enemies down this way. That. Oops, missed that one. I would get his weapon. Heal if you need to. And there's a guy right here by the fire. The halberd is a really great plague weapon early on. Seems to take everybody's health bar down completely. You're gonna want to get every green light that shows up. It's a piece of the story, it's lore, but you always get a memory attached to it. And if you go to start, go to your items, collection of memories level 1. So these are essentially blood echoes from Bloodborne. They are souls from Dark Souls. They are runes from Elden Ring. Basically, you consume these and you get more memories to level up with. So if you look at the top right of the screen, there's that icon with 1188. That is the number of memories that I have currently, or basically think of it as currency to level up with. And again, if you're familiar with Bloodborne or whatever, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Then once you've gotten the memory down there, you want to run up the stairs here and get ready to die. Now, this is not necessarily a 100% walkthrough for all achievements, but I will say if you are going for that, then you're going to want to either create a save here. If you're on PC, I would go into the game file, copy your save, make a backup of it. Or alternatively, if you're on PS5, I would go into the cloud, turn off auto sync or whatever it is, however you do it there. Save scumming is what I'm talking about, because there is an achievement for defeating this boss in here. His name is Varg. You don't have to defeat him on your first encounter, but you have to get him to his second phase. So it's hard. I didn't even realize that was an achievement until after I got past this on my Let's Play, or else I probably would have tried it. But at this point in the game, you really don't have any viable skills or anything, so it's a true test. So anyway, you lose here, it's not a big deal if you're not going for the achievements, because you're meant to die, I guess. I'll play this cutscene because I love that sword. Yep. Without having multiple dodges or a bigger parry window, it's pretty difficult. I think I could do it, honestly. I just want to, for the sake of the walkthrough, we're going to speed past a lot of this shit. So here we are at Philosopher's Hill. Now, Philosopher's Hill is your main area hub. It is where you will talk to Acme here, who is your firekeeper in a sense, I guess you'd call it. So, just a quick overview of this place here. This is where you will upgrade your plague weapons later on. You can also do that from any bench, seat. This is where you will upgrade your potions. This is where you will upgrade your skills, I believe. Then you got in here. This is your map. This is where you will go to your different zones. And I recommend going around this entire area every time you get out of a zone or you complete a level, because there seem to be, at least for me, after every zone for a while, there was a new item throughout the world, which each item that you read gives you a memory, which in turn gives you more skill points. So once you've ran around and checked everything out, you'll go back to Acme here. Continue to recall. So at first, all you have is Sea of Trees. Search for the cores. And we are done with the tutorial. Sea of Trees is not bad. It's I think it scales really well for early game. Okay, so here's where it's talking about your memory shards to enhance your attributes. So if you look at the top right again, that's your memory shards, or you gain them from killing enemies or consuming the memories you pick up in the world. So you only have 3 stats: strength, vitality, and plague. For the sake of the walkthrough, we will be leveling them all equally, because I feel like that was the most well-rounded build. And each time you upgrade one of those 3 stats, you get a talent point, and you can get a talent point up to level 25, and then it falls off. You don't get any more talent points. So go over to the seat, activate it. Make sure you activate every single seat you see, because if you don't, you will not be able to use it. So go into the level up menu. You can see your level at the top. You see how many memory shards you have, and you see how many shards are required for your next level. So like I said, we're gonna level them all up equally. So do 1 strength, 1 vitality, and if you look over on the right hand side, you can see how much you gained from said point. Doesn't seem like a lot, and it's not, but it's balanced, trust me. So you want to hit OK. So we leveled up 2 different stats, therefore we have 2 talent points to unlock. So I'm going to give a brief overview really quick. If you look at the top, you've got Saber, Deflect, Dodge, Claw, Feather, Strategies, and that's it. So each one of these is like its own group. You can spin them however you want. You know, I'm not saying you have to follow my build, but I just feel like the build that I will be making is easiest for new players. And you can see on the right hand side, it gives you a brief description of what that skill will do. And also, so if you're going through and you're reading them, if you go to the very bottom one, you obviously can't unlock this skill without first locking the one before it. And likewise, if I was to unlock this skill here, dodge and slash level 1, I could not unlock dodge and stab level 1. It's one or the other, and you can see that by the bracket style they have set up here. So we've got Saber Attacks, Saber Attacks in air, and Healing Execution. Early on, I am going to recommend Healing Execution level 1, which is after performing an execution, some health and energy will be restored based on the level of the enemy. This is very helpful for progression, because you'll be killing a lot of enemies, and you'll be taking a lot of hits as well. So what this does is every time you do an execution of any kind, whether that's, you know, reaving them for their plague weapon, or killing them with your saber, or killing them with your claw, you'll get health and energy. Energy is used for plague weapons, and we'll get into more of that later. So go ahead and hit that. Also, while we're here, I think it's good to talk about respec. You are, and I love this about the game, you are absolutely 100% able to respec any of your stat points at any time for free. So if you don't like, you know, how your build's going, simply go to the one you've done, click A to unlearn it, free of charge, and you can place it wherever you want. That's really cool. I like that. So we're gonna do Healing Execution level 1 and increase Saber damage. And then once we get our next level, I'm gonna start moving into Deflect and Dodge. Where am I at on time? 24 minutes. I should be able to get to the next seat. So if you go up to a door and it can't open from this side, basically that means that there is a way to get in there. You just have to find your way around. So go up, you're gonna have an enemy sitting here. There you go. A good rule of thumb I like to use is like 1, 2, 3 saber attacks and then 2 claws, and that usually takes them out. But you'll find the, you know, whatever works best for you. So once you kill that guy, there's going to be a little gate here. Make sure you knock it down. Watch out for the guy sitting here. If you want, constantly hit your right thumbstick in, and that will auto look or lock onto anybody you see. Back here, you've got a barrel, break it. You've got your collection of memories. Once you pick that up, you're going to want to come back out this way. There's some barrels over here. You see this platform up here? You will get to this later. There's an item back there that you have to drop down on top of it. Watch out for the lady. Take them both down. I like to just break everything I see. That way I know there's nothing I've left behind. So you got a ladder here. Something on the wall, make sure you pick it up. We're gonna take this lady out, or this dude out. Break these barrels. Go back here, and you've got another lore piece. Alright, we're gonna go up the ladder now. Now, this is not necessarily a mini boss, but he's not a random mob either. So just be careful about it. Again, make sure you're keeping an eye on his wound gauge. Make sure you reeve it if it's a new weapon you haven't used before. Oh shit, he poised right through that. Now, some enemies you kill will drop these white glowy things, and these are skill shards for a specific plague weapon. So that one was hand axe, and what that does is you can level up certain plague weapons to have more attack. They do more damage to wounds, etc., etc. We'll get into that at the next bench we see, because that ability has been unlocked for us. Make sure you pick up this piece of lore. Okay, if you break down this fence here, there is a pathway here. We're going to go ahead and take that. Make sure you pick up this piece of lore. Go on and drop down the hole here. There is no fall damage, which is nice. Unlock this door, and now you've got yourself a shortcut back to the beginning. So, go ahead and rest. If you have the ability to level up, you may. I don't think you will. But if you don't, go ahead and press start. Go to items. Now, each one of these memories are worth 100 shards. At level 1 at least. So, you can either pop them all, but be aware if you die, then you will lose whatever memories you had on you, unless you're able to get back to where you died to pick them up before you die again. I'm gonna go ahead and just use 2 because that's all I need for a level. So again, we're leveling everything up equally, so get 1 in plague. So basically what strength does, I don't know if I really went over this that well. Strength deals with your attack damage and the amount of wounds that you cause for your attacks. Vitality is obviously your health, and plague is your claw damage and the energy available that you have. All right, unlock talent. So go ahead and unlock the deflect to level 2. So when successfully deflecting attacks, the enemy counter attack gauge is reduced, which will lead us into slightly increases deflect time, but decreases deflect damage. What that means is your parry window is opened up to a wider range, so you can be a little late or a little early with your parries and it'll still go through. But on the other hand, your deflects aren't doing as much damage to the enemy, which in my opinion is fine, because only reason I'm deflecting is to not get a hit, is not to get hit by the enemy, and I'll always be following up with a saber attack anyway, so not a big deal there. And if you've got them on you, go ahead and pop. Let's see, let me check how many memories I need for the next level. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop 5 of them so I can get that parry timing window. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pop them all, fuck it. Probably be able to get 2 levels. Strength, vitality. 2 more talent points. So go ahead and get Reckless Deflect level 1. And trying to think of. Yeah, this is the one we want. So this is very helpful for taking enemies out quickly. Basically what it does is, you know, how we've been doing it is we're doing about 3 saber attacks and then hitting them with the claw and then getting them with the execution. But with this, as you can see in the video, you're able to take more of their wounds away with double claw strikes instead of being able to only do it once. And honestly, I'll be, you know, in terms of like killing mobs really quickly, this is super important. And you're also able to cover an insane amount of ground when doing this. You'll pretty much lunge towards the enemy if you're all the way across the map and take their wounds off. All right. Yeah, so that is where I'm gonna stop the first episode. Pretty much covered all the basics. We haven't unlocked anything with the plagues yet. That's fine. We'll get into that on another episode, probably the next one. So for now, just get used to the combat, being able to dodge, being able to deflect. And on the next episode, we will work our way through the Sea of Trees. So appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will catch you on the next episode.